boxes. So here we are. We have 5 boxes that showed up all the same day. It's just, I guess that's how this company works. This is all FedEx, and you know how much I love FedEx. As in, I don't. 3 boxes came in. 1 box contains a very rare Star Wars item they paid a lot of money for. So we have to find out what survived and what did not. So I think based upon the damage, we'll get a little better in the light. That's pretty significant. That's a full, you can see right there, crush in, and I can, you're already in the box. And there's no markings too. There's no markings from FedEx that the post office has, that says the box came damaged. We're going to let you know that we recorded that. We noticed that. Nope, there's nothing like that. This is like normal for them. They're like, yeah, this is how we treat most of our boxes. So you should be happy you at least received a box versus a pancake. I mean, I guess that's what they're saying. But we're going to find out if it survived, because it's been a while since I received something in the mail. But the stuff I received that was Tycho, that guy packed it beautifully. And the mask, especially the mask that came in a couple weeks ago, sealed Firefly, an unused pit stop catapult. That guy knew exactly what he was doing. So we have the condition wear up here. So okay, poorly wrapped as usual from the place that does this. Now when I say that, I mean it. So it looks like they had enough padding to protect it, so it's not poorly wrapped in that side. But what they do is they just wrap it all like a blanket, call it a day. There's no rhyme or reason. It could be ceramics, it could be a painting, it could be dinosaur bones, it could be a small puppy, or it could be carded Star Wars figures. They just wrap it like this every time. Nothing different, and you can't request anything. This is just how they do it. This stuff isn't cheap anymore. Everyone in Japan now is very well aware of what the markets are. Oh, no, I take it back. I think no, this isn't it. They're all very well aware of the market. See, he just wraps it all like, it's okay. Corner creasing, no problem. Corner damage, I'll give it to you. They just wrap it tightly, too. Like, all the tape must be compressed and condensed. You can see this bend in it. But yeah, in Japan, they all figured it out. It took a long time, but in the last about 3 years, I would say, they started figuring out what the Star Wars market was internationally versus what was in Japan. And for a long time, you could just go to Japan, pick up the Scudas, which are the Jedi carded, the Japanese sticker on it, the U.S. package, for most of the time, $10 to $20 each. I would walk in, see more common characters like Chief Chirpa and stuff, $10 each all day long. Tougher characters you wouldn't see that often, especially the imported ones like Hammerhead, Boba Fett. You would not find those characters as often because only import stores had them. And then, of course, like Vader, Luke, Yoda, and then a little bit towards Lando and Leia Bausch. And then a more common but very popular C-3PO and R2-D2, the droids. Oh my god, these! I mean, I knew they were bad condition. I didn't pay much for them, but like this is technically, I think, water damaged. Yeah, oh yeah, look at the reflection on that. The question now is, what kind of water damage is it? What kind of water is it? So, I mean, I can still get $50 for that. It's not going to the world. I hope the rest don't fall in suit, but I suspect, oh yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It's just wanting to escape. Yeah, so these are all water damaged. I don't think that was described by the seller. It was just, used. And then, like, you would have to examine these poor photos and be like, all right, I guess they look good. A low-end budget version of opening. I was just concerned what was in this box. So, Nyam Num is not water damaged, so that works out just great. So, I can probably get, the bubble crack and everything, about $80 for that. Oh yeah, low grade. Ugh. And did we get anyone like tougher in here? Ugh. Seen better days. Post hobby. This is an import, as you can see. Is that what oh my god. This is... They do sell raw garbage. There we go. Look at that Yoda. Ugh. Ugh. Ugh, 2,300 yen. This is just disgusting. I'm gonna see if I can wipe some of this down, but I don't think this is salvageable. Oh, look at that big bubble crack there too. Ooh. So that's how the cookie crumbles on when it comes to these things. Buyer beware. Everywhere around the world, it's just you're buying as is, and at times they just take you to the cleaners. So this isn't much of a issue. I'll get my money back. It's tough, but I need to wash my hands on this one. If you see, it looks like there might be wiped out black mold on this thing, and that means it all needs to be purged. So if all the boxes get damaged, this one, A-okay. I got lucky. Coming back to the water damaged issues that I had, it's been about a day. I had a lot of things to work on, and I needed to follow up because I was just in a mad rush. I handled the Yoda, I washed my hands, and still like cleaned it up. It is just devoured. I mean, you're not supposed to, on a carded figure, be able to put your finger inside and go, hello. Yeah, this thing is trashed. But the main concern was the water damage. That's if it's water damage. I mean, it could be a bunch of other type of liquid damage, which I don't want to think too much on. The bubble damage was recorded, but the water damage never was. And I paid really cheap for all this. I'm not upset at all, but the water damage has gotten me to the point where, as I said, I may have to pop these open. And then I started thinking about water damage in general with Japan, and there's a few instances where I've bumped into a packaged toy that was dead stock. So I think I already told the story previously, but I was in Tokyo in this really, really oddball shop. He had a bunch of toys behind him, stacked like a junk pile. But he was friendly. He had a Transformers Junior 1986 Sound Blaster, just like the miniature version of the Transformer toys as in Junior, and it was water damaged completely through, but the toy was still mint, and everything was there, but the box was unopened. And I remember getting in an argument with the guy that I kind of see what's inside of it, and he was like, no, it is dead stock, which is like their version of telling you it's sealed and you should not open it. But it doesn't matter if it's completely stored dead stock. It's the water damage completely through the entire box. And the guy didn't acknowledge that. And so I think that might be an issue. I have to talk to some friends in Japan about their views on water damage, because for us it's a kiss of death. All I said, I'll probably pop the Yoda, and thankfully Yoda is clean in there. But the other thing was, if you notice the video, I completely pulled this carded figure out first and put it off to the side, and I just didn't even acknowledge its existence. And of course, coming back to my original statement of, I'm so happy that this box wasn't the one that had the rare item in it. Now it was. This is the item that was the rarest of all the items that came in the mail, and it survived. The Scuda Japanese Power of the Force B-Wing pilot. So if you haven't noticed, you haven't seen some of the previous videos, these all came from the same collector who was bowing out of the hobby, it looks like. It has, that's why I gotta catch it. Power of the Force coin was attached to a Jedi carded figure and then saran wrapped and sold on the market. Scuda is pretty much, we think, the one that produced these. They imported the coins from Kenner, matched them accordingly to each character. Only a certain amount of characters were ever produced, and they're exceptionally rare. I mean, this is the first time I've ever held a B-Wing pilot. I mean, in Japan, for 10 years of visiting Japan and buying, toys and vintage Star Wars and Transformers and having a great time in all the cities, I've never purchased one Scuda coin figure in my entire life, there physically. Only time I was able to get close to one was an incident with the Boba Fett Scuda with the Power of the Force coin and a Jedi card. Very few known to exist. So even though this B-Wing pilot's lackluster in just, it looks basic, and the most common of all the Power of the Force North American figures carded is the B-Wing pilot. So you may not get super excited, but it's also a correlation to Maydeen on a Jedi card is like $100, but on a Tri-Logo card, it could be $5,000 to $10,000 or more. And this is in that rarity area where the character is not the most demanded, but this special combination and the rarity is just exceptionally difficult to get. So this is the final piece from that guy's collection, and this is the first B-Wing pilot I've ever physically held in my hands. Legendary Japanese Kenner action figures. Only the die-hard earliest collectors have these in their collection. I've actually talked to a few old-time collectors in Japan who've never even heard of these. So I'll wrap up that box with a much better, proper video on a Friday night, so I'm actually awake and happy, and we have more boxes to open, and more boxes are outside, so we're going to do a complete rundown today. So thank you for watching me on box opening. I almost missed this. It's just, you get so excited when you open these things, you know?